Welcome, everybody. If you guys want to come on over live, make sure that you're clicking on the pinned link down below so you can come on over and you can get the actual recording tomorrow. All right, everyone, let's get things started out by asking you two questions. I've got two questions I wanted to ask you. If you could stop hiding behind fear, what if you could do that? If you could stop hiding behind fear, the unknown, where would you be right now? Second question is, what if you knew the setups to unleashing and attracting the right people in your life? Well, tonight's topic, that's what we're going to be talking about. We're going to be talking about how you can reveal help you reveal how to win the battle in your mind. And tonight's topic is really going to be I'm going to say an uncovering of the truth. And I think once we get to the realization of what that truth looks like, then it's a little bit easier for you to walk into that truth. I really wanted to share a bit of my story and allow you guys a little bit further into my truth and what's been going on and how that can help how you can get to that point of winning a battle. There's always going to be some battle that we're going through. And I think with the increase of a lot of things happening that you see in the news, and not everything's going to happen that you know about, but there are some things that are happening and triggering people, students, men and women, our youth, that they're not in a stable place, and it all comes from their mental stability, all right? Their mental health. And that's what I really wanted to talk about today, really about that. Last week, we had Natasha Harris online, and she is a licensed therapist, and she dove a little bit more into that, but this is a huge topic. I still wanted to continue the topic a little bit more and talk more about mental health. Is that okay? Is that okay? Is that okay? Because it's very important for us to identify it, not only for ourselves, but understand that there's also going to be people around us that we might need to pay attention to a little bit closer. Okay. So put a 1 in the chat if you guys are ready. And if you're ready for me to be vulnerable today, just put a 1 in the chat if you are ready to let me do the work today and actually let my hair down a little bit. Because I believe this may uncover some moments for you as well. And thank you very much. Okay. Just 2 of you. The 2 of you, the rest of you can hear me okay, yes? Just want to make sure we're good to go because it's a lot of information that we got to go over tonight. All right, everybody can hear me okay?
Yes.
Awesome. Yes. Thank you, Lenise. All right, so welcome everybody that is on. I've got mostly women. Mostly, and I think I have 1 gentleman that came through. So when I take a look at some of the stats, I wanted to give you some stats on what I pulled up about suicide, all right, mental health. And these numbers are a little bit, they're not alarming, but they're still disturbing. And the majority between, if you look at men or women, when it comes to the suicide rate, it's men that are over the age of 45. And for my nurses out there, Lenise, you all kind of know, this may, you can nod your head to a lot of these things. So, and over the age of 75 for a man, it is typical for them to take their lives as well. So you've got that chance of men not being happy with something. And it could be anything dealing with alcohol. It could be anything dealing with their job, money, just lack of, it could be an abundance of different things. And it could be depression, mood disorders. The top areas of industries that people get affected are healthcare, veterinarians, believe it or not, veterinarians, and farmers, Farmers, because their business is so cyclical. And police. And the police. Okay. So we have people that are walking around in industries that we need, that we need, as we call them, service. We need them for service. And if we depend upon these people and they're not feeling well, how is that going to overall affect anything that we need to get done going forward? So today I really wanted to dive into what are some possible ways of identifying that person and what kind of solutions can help that person heal and get a little bit better. Everyone's story is going to be different. I can't say that everyone needs to go for therapy. I can't say that everyone needs to go and get a prescription for what they need to get done. There are some people that need to, but I took the route. If I want to rewind back, and I want to go back to 2010. 2010. That is when I started to discover, that was a year that I really wanted to discover a new me. Prior to 2010, again, I just wanted to give you me. This is not the business me. This is me. And I really wanted to share this part because I really don't get to share this part that often. Prior to 2010, as a young woman, making money was not a problem. Making friends, not a problem. But when it comes down to this right here, when you're dealing with personal relationships, I remember being in a relationship with my mother, no problem. Dad, no problem. But when I come down to a relationship of a man and Lorie, that's when I started to have some insecurities. And as a young woman, you may not understand how to deal with that. And you may see some ladies online just flicking off and going crazy. Watch that word, because that word, they don't understand how to move that emotion. And if that emotion of fear and insecurity lives in that person and they don't know how to deaden it, as you want to call it, then anything could happen. Anything could happen. All right. There could be destruction. There could be mental destruction. There could be physical destruction. But either way, it's going to be a demise in some kind of relationship if that's not figured out and how to figure out what to do. So in 2010 was when I started working within network marketing. And I didn't understand at that moment how network marketing was going to be that shift for me. That was the personal development that I personally needed so that I can not worry about being jealous. How many phone calls is he getting? Let me look in all his drawers and let me take a look at the emails. Guys, ladies, that was me. That was me. And that is not something that I'm proud of, but that is a total understanding now on why that was. If you don't have any kind of outlet to squash that type of feeling, then it's going to increase and get worse for the people that are around you. So tonight we're talking about ways that we can win the battle in our mind. So now we're 2010. Now we're moving up to 2012. I'm doing great with my income. I'm top 10 in real estate, and real estate was good. So you're thinking from a financial standpoint, she looked all right. She looked all right. Going into a room, she looked all right. But as I sat on the side of my bed, and I'll show you these books that I actually wrote into, the reason why I got these stories together was 2012 birthed this very first book that I did. And from 2010 up to when I finally finished the book, I know some of y'all haven't finished your book, it took 2 years for me to get the cover together, to get the content together. But you know what? It was chapters in here that I didn't even want to write. And it was about the depression. That was the shift that I needed to write about most. And so I did all of these chapters. I wrote them. My publisher was thinking, can you finish the book? And I was like, I'm still stuck on chapter 2. I can't get that one out. And what is it about chapter 2? I'm like, well, it's a real story. It was talking about my depression and how the relationship at that time I was in was bad. And what I was doing was sabotaging myself. So it took 2 years to get this together. And I'm proud. I don't have any copies of this now for you guys, but I do have another book that we did that was done later, and I'll tell you more about that. But this start was an outlet for me to at least get some things on paper to allow the depression talk and how I felt bad and how I wasn't feeling well, to get that out on paper. So this may be a reason for some of you to even be on here today, is your story has to be told. Your story has to be told that so someone else can get relieved. They can get saved. And for many of you that actually came to this book signing party, when I looked around the room, I just remember a lot of people nodding their heads when I got to chapter 2. And that was how real estate and network marketing changed my life. So as I went into that chapter, I went deep into the depression and how network marketing, the personal development side of that, changed my life. So now let's fast forward to 2012. Book is out, okay? The book is out. And I'm sitting on the side of the bed. I'm about to go out for the day, and I'm looking at my bank accounts. Like some of you do, you sit there before you go out and you just want to see what I can do today. How much food can I eat? So how much gas can I get? The good gas or the premium gas? So I'm getting there, and I've got one account said $439. The other account said $47.60. The other account, the third account, said $101. Now, I don't mean $439. I meant $4.39 was in the very first account, ending balance. The second account had $47.60. And the last account I had was $1.01. Where are you going to go with that? So I'm sitting there thinking, why me? Why do I have these things going on? And God was working within me. It's been 2 years working in personal development, working on my mind, working on fear, working on watching my words and changing my words, and not being in those negative type of settings, right? When you are in personal development, that simply means, that personal development means that you are being sculpted to be a brand new person. It's not about the products or the services that I sold. Yes, those were a great compliment to my real estate business. It was credit repair, it was credit education. But what I was learning along the way was the therapy that I needed. So it's 2012. I'm talking to my mom, looking at this bank account, and I'm thinking, I need to talk to my mom. I need to talk to my mom about this, okay? And I don't see anybody in the waiting room, Letitia, I'm sorry. And it's now I'm talking to my mom, and I'm like, I need help. Like, I just don't feel good. I'm not at my peak performance with things. And when you're not at your peak performance, then things start you start lashing out. Have you ever noticed that people get snippy when you ask them for the smallest things? Or if your children ask you for something, like, why are you asking me for that? It's just like food or, something basic. And if you're not feeling well, then you can't provide something, then you get irritated, right? You don't feel your best. And for parents, I can understand that. Why did my mother lash out at me when I was just trying to get money to go onto a field trip? Or why was my mother upset when I didn't finish homework at a certain time? Okay. All of these different triggers, of course, could cause anybody to go spiral out. They can go spiral out. And you have to understand, how do I control that emotion? That is the main thing. And it takes time, guys, ladies, it takes time. And it takes a discipline to understand. If somebody says to me right now, I don't like the way your hair looks, I could laugh it off, or I could really be on the defense, or I could really go outside and really do some damage to their car, right? If I wasn't there to understand how the battle of this, because my mind has everything to say, are we going to just laugh it off, or are we going to go outside and slash some tires? We don't want to do that part, right? So I'm asking my mom, and she says, well, go to the doctor. Go to the doctor, and I want you to see what you can do. So I go to the doctor, had insurance at the time. So I'm like, good, let me go. And I remember exactly where I went and how I parked. It was in Greenbelt. It was right across the street from Greenbelt Beltway Plaza. And I parked facing the street. Got out, went inside, talked to the doctor for no more than 15 minutes, ladies and gentlemen. And this man starts to just, write notes, asking me questions. Within 15 minutes, he gives me a prescription and he says, here you go. And I'm like, that's it. That's it. And I walked out of there, sat in the car facing Greenbelt Road, and I was just in the car crying. I'm just like, I got the help that I need. Like, this is going to be good. And as I'm doing that, my mom calls. It's 3:00, y'all. My mother has never called in the middle of the day. And I let her know, my sister called first. My sister called. She's a school teacher, so she called first. And I'm thinking, why are you calling me? So I let her know I got the prescription that I needed. I'm going to feel good. She says, don't fill that prescription. Like, but what are you talking about? I'm like, I only have to pay $1 for my prescription. She says, don't fill it. So I left there and I was like, she doesn't know what she's talking about. I'm driving down 193 to go to Safeway to the pharmacy to get my $1 prescription. And my mom calls. My mom calls and she says, your sister called. You know how the family the trail goes, right? Your sister called and she said you were in the middle of something. What happened at that appointment? And I said, I got the prescription. She said, what is it for? So she pulled it up. She started looking it up and she says, I don't think you should take that medicine. I said, I don't understand what you're talking about. Like, I've told you guys I couldn't concentrate. I'm not feeling at my best. My energy level is low. She said, don't fill it. So what did I do? I went home. I filled it anyway, but I had the bag in the house. I didn't take it, but I had it in the house. And with that, I don't know if I would have taken that pill, what that could have done to alter my brain. I don't know. To this day, I don't know. And I'm thankful I didn't because I don't know. And from that point, that entire week was a whole transformation because God was leading particular steps for me to get to the right answer. The devil said, I got something for you quick, easy, it's $1 here. But that was not the solution that God wanted. So I went in, I actually listened to my sister and mom. I didn't take the pill. I filled it, yes, but I didn't take it. So the prescription stayed on the shelf. And then I made an appointment to go talk to a therapist, another one. And this one was a Christian-based church that I went to, and I actually trusted this person, good reviews. So this was another person. And the first person that I went to, he's a psychiatrist, but I just got him from my insurance. So this person I paid out of pocket for, I invested in this person, and I sat down with this individual. And what was discovered was I was going through depression. And I didn't know that in 2012, that was the definition of not feeling well. And when you're going through these bouts in life, when you can't identify, it could be stress, it could be anything like that, but mine was depression. I'm like, no, I'm thinking depression is you're walking around with your head down, you're sad. And I was like, well, I'm 50% there, but I didn't feel like that was the word I wanted to identify with. I went home and I understood what it was. And that week, God kept working on me. So remember, I'm still in personal development, just got started, really my first 2 years. You guys okay there? You guys hearing me? I'm dropping some things on purpose because some things are dropped in this story on purpose. And when you take a look at some things that are the easy route, it's not the right route for you. When I had to invest and take the time to pull money out of my pocket, that is when I started to see the results of what is my problem. That was my problem. So, okay, I'm depressed. So now what? And that very next day, I got an invitation to a networking event. It was a women's networking event. And Bob Yates is the individual. I mentioned him in the book as well. And I would say that is the individual, along with Melanie Bonita, she helped me write the second book, saved my life. Because through natural connections and community, I sat in that room, remember, I didn't have much money. I made it to that women's conference on a prayer. I don't even know, from my house to Silver Spring, I didn't have much money. And I went there saying, I'm not spending any money because I just don't have it. So I sat in the room and I listened. I sat in the third row and I sat and listened to Bob and his entire team of panelists just speak life into us. It's about 15 or 20 women. And I'm like, I like this feeling. I love this feeling. Like, I feel good. No one's trying to get money out of me. No one's trying to make me do something I don't want to do. I felt amazing. And so now the event is over. In the back of the room, they've got the young ladies selling their books. That was the very first time that I invested in buying someone else's book. Now, I had started working on my own, but I had never really invested in a whole bunch of books at this time. And Melanie Bonita was in the back of the room selling her book, A Daily Dose of Determination, was the very first book she got, and she signed for me. And I began that journey. And if you guys remember back in Facebook, I used to post something of inspiration every day. Every day I used to post. And it started a little bit before that, but then I started picking up passages from her book and I would write them on Facebook. And I'm thinking, this makes me feel good. And then when I started seeing other men and women like it, I thought, oh, okay, this is for others too. They need this inspiration. They need this pick-me-up. So my joy of why I bring the content that I bring to social media every day just about is to make you laugh, is to make you escape what you may be going through, some reality that you may be going through. But the biggest reason why I started on Facebook years ago was to get me out of depression, was to get me personally out of depression, because the words I kept typing, I felt better. I kept typing on Tuesday, I felt a little bit better. Again, I'm back on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I'm back. And I started meditating and I started learning how to be quiet with myself. If you can learn how to quiet your thoughts, meditation is for you, because meditation just simply means you're receiving, praying out to God. You're praying out. So you've got to understand the difference of what it takes. If I'm meditating for 20 minutes, then I am learning how to quiet my mind. The noise, the chatter from earlier, the stress, what he said, what he told me, what they told me I'm supposed to do. All of that goes through meditation. And 20 minutes a day, posting on Facebook was my recipe to get out of depression. And I never took the pills. So I say that to say, for some people, yes, they might need it for mood disorders. They might need it, but I healed myself through community. And that may be something that I need you guys to really get instilled in you, is that you've got a lot of darkness around us and we have to stay protected at all times. So in the mornings, what am I doing? I'm listening to something positive. I don't care if it's 15 minutes when I'm walking the dog in the morning, I'm listening to something to get my mind straight. And as we always talk about, I'm writing out my day, my plan, I'm happy and grateful moments. That's the therapy, the free therapy that's needed. All right. So I hope you guys understand that journey there. Now, that's 2012-ish. All right. Let's journey along. I'm getting better. I'm learning. I'm still posting every day. I committed to writing on Facebook to help not only myself, but other men and women who needed to hear it and to get up out of bed. Because that one post, I don't know, may heal somebody. It may, and they may never say anything to me, and I'm okay with that. And my niece was going through depression. I didn't know it. And she told my dad, I've been reading Aunt Lorie's post and it's been helping me. She never liked anything. She never said anything. She never texted. But hey, so you think about the deposits that you are putting out to someone else. If you're overwhelmed with something, stop saying I'm overwhelmed, because there is a trigger that's going to happen when you start to work those words because yourself is listening. Stop saying I'm overwhelmed, because your body is like, cool, we're definitely overwhelmed. We're stressed out until you tell me otherwise. I am exactly what you said I am. And that's why it's important to guide your mind to tell it every day, how do I plan to feel today? Happy, rich, employed, successful. Got it. All right. That's it. Let God do the rest of the work. You can't pick up the pen and do the writing. That's his job. You just do your work. Do the work for the day. All right. So now this book, done in 2012, I got it out, and I'm excited that we're gonna redo this book. All right. We're gonna have another edition of this book. And this was my very first, and it allowed me to let men and women walk into, it's okay, depression may come, but here's what you got to do to attract better things in your life. All of these chapters were about how can you attract a better person? How can you attract and be a better friend? How can you attract a better job? All of those things were mentioned in Unleash Your Irresistibility. Any questions so far? Any questions? Alicia's on the line, so I wanted to shout her out. In 2018, I wanted to journey and keep it going. Instead of me doing a book by myself again, I wanted to bring women with me that had stories. Yeah, we all have stories. So I was like, 18 women's stories in the Extraordinary Makeover. I do have copies of these. So if you want copies of these, I can certainly get you these. Here are the 18 women, and Alicia Mathis, who's online, she was one of the authors, wrote in this book. Everyone had their own stories. So it allowed them to also be vulnerable and to share with their community. I've got some information about what I went through, and I'm going to put in a book for you guys to hear about it. So we did that. That got out in 2019. And Intentional Teachings is Alicia Mathis. She's actually chapter 1. So she was the first one, Intentional Teachings, to put her words to paper, to talk about her story as well. So when you think about your story, I don't want you to think that, oh, it takes a lot of work to put my book together. Oh my gosh, I've got to put this, I got to do this. Your story may help release someone from something, some bondage, something that they're going through. So your story could actually be that point that takes them from, I'm not feeling well, to chapter 1, saved my life. Chapter 1, saved my life. Oh my gosh. All right. She went through it. I can do it. And that's sometimes all that we need, right, ladies, gentlemen? That's all we need, is to at least identify with, oh, I'm not the only one. So those are the 2 books that I did journey creatively to write through stories to help with life. And I wanted to ask you, you just think about it. If you've written a book, is it time to get it out? Do you need help with that? We've had people on the show that talk about their book journey. I have ebooks on steps of what you need to do to get your book out. And Melanie Bonita is actually available if you'd like to get your book out and about. And if you are in a position where you're thinking how much first, then you're not really thinking from here. All right. I want you to focus on, let me get it done so I can create this impact. The money will come. It's not about that. But if you're focusing just on that, then you'll never get the damn book out. But focus on, here's the impact. This is what we're trying to get out. I want to make myself feel better, and I want to help others as well. And everything will start coming in place. All right. So those women's stories were done in 2018. I think I'm done for the book writing for now, but I just wanted to reveal some of my truth on why I do what I do. As the trainings that I do, I don't charge anyone for these on Tuesdays. There's conversations I have. Don't charge everyone for everything, but there are times that I just want to make sure that you're feeling good, because we take that for granted that everyone is feeling okay just because they're walking around with a smile on their face. And those are the ones you just want to start checking in on. So I wanted to give you some quick tips on what you need to do so that you're focusing on you. Okay. You ever heard that? I'm focusing on me. And when you can't get into a relationship with a man or another woman, be okay with the fact that they're saying, I'm focusing on me right now. It's not about you right now. It's about them making sure that they can enter the world with confidence, without being sad, without being depressed. All right. Because that battle is every single day. And if you don't know how to quiet the noise with doing meditation, if you don't know how to quiet the noise with being around the right people, or to remove certain things, we're going to go over that now, then it's going to be a tough battle for you. You've got to know how to combat that every single day. I started a YouTube channel, what you were just listening to. I'll show you that shortly. I started a YouTube channel just so that you can have sounds of greatness when you're working, when you're, doing whatever. I started a YouTube channel just because of that. So a lot of times you're just thinking, where did the origin come from? Depression. And people, and I can say that with pride now, without crying and buckling under. I'm like, no, that's what it was. That's what it was. So here are 5 things that I thought that would be great to start winning this battle in your mind. One is you need to audit your circle. I'm really serious about this. Audit your circle. There are some family members, some friends that you call friends that don't want to see you win. And as you're escalating, they can't go that high because they're still here talking about what you did 2 years ago. Well, you used to, I'm here now. I'm not there anymore. And as you progress, you need to start auditing your circle. People that call me just to want to talk about themselves, I don't answer that call anymore. I don't answer. You just want to talk about you. And there's no way that you don't call me and just start talking. You don't ask about my day. You don't ask, how's everything going? If you have those kind of people where they just start talking about themselves, cut them out. Cut them loose. So audit your circle. And I mean family. I've cut family out and I feel amazing. I'd rather shrink my circle than have a whole bunch of people hating on me anyway and having that baggage. Let them go. Yes, you've been friends for 15 years. Time's up. Time's up. Everything is not going to last forever. That was a season. You're out of that season. It's time to move on. Okay. Number 2, guard your eyes, your ears, and your environment. When you're in the car, what are you listening to? When you're watching TV, what are you listening to? You'll be amazed that watching certain things on TV, I have to just turn them off. Now I get to the point, even with certain drama on Facebook or TikTok, I have to turn it off because it's messing with my mind. And if you watch certain things on TikTok, drama, or you're watching that stuff now, and you try to go to sleep, your subconscious is like, I'm still up. We're going to have a time tonight. So you went to bed with TikTok drama, with watching someone who's homeless, or watching someone who's begging for money, or someone who tricks somebody out of money. Like whatever you just saw, it's now in your subconscious and you just went to bed. And that's what I'm saying. Guard your ears, guard your eyes of what you view, and guard the environment that you're around. Okay. If you like going to that corner club and you kind of not there anymore, but you're just there because it's out of habit, there's some things that we do out of habit. Check your circle. Do you need to be there? Do you need to be there? All right. Yeah, you're going through that now. We're always going to go through elevations, Ari. Always going to be going through it. And I guarantee you, as long as you're holding on to that person, the longer God is keeping you here. As soon as you cut that person off, God is like, I had all this waiting on you, but you wanted to hold on to Dodo and riffraff over here. But I got all this for you. And it'll happen instantly when you cut that shit off. So be mindful of your environment. There's certain things I'm not going to go into clubs anymore because why? Like, what's there? If I used to go to strip clubs and just check out the scenery, why am I going there? So if that is my environment, what is that going to trigger you to do next? If I'm going to an event, do I want to be there with these certain types of people there? Okay. So there's certain things where you just have to just look, that was fun. That was fun back then. But as you start moving forward to work on your mental health, there's not every place that you need to be in, I promise you. All right. So number 1 was audit your circle. Number 2 is guard your eyes, ears, and environment. Number 3 is speak to a therapist. This is the fun part. But ask God to send you to the right place. God, place me in the right place where I'm supposed to be. Send me to the right therapist. If you need an online service, betterhelp.com, betterhelp, HELP.com, betterhelp.com. You can do it on the phone, 30 to 60, I think it's like $30 to $90 per session, but at least you can get that when you need it, once a week, twice a week. I don't know how often is needed to make you get there. But BetterHelp, where you can check with your insurance to see if you've got coverage for therapy. It used to be in the African-American community where it was taboo to go get help. And right now, it's amazing that if you're not in it, what do you mean you're not in therapy? Do you know how much elevation will happen when you go to therapy? That baggage that we keep holding on, like it came out through therapy. I didn't even know that was the reason why I kept doing that. Family, habits, programming, all of that stuff is the reason why we are doing the stuff that we do today. And that's the reason why they sit you back. And they're like, let's take me back when you were a child. And you're thinking, why am I going back that far? Because that's where the shit started. So be okay with setting that appointment and talking about it in your community more and more. Yeah, I went to therapy. It felt great. Had some things on my chest I didn't even know that was there. I feel great now. I can move past that. Okay, so that's the gift to yourself. Make sure you do that. Number 4 is desire more. Desire more. You've got to be in groups that are bigger than you. You can't be in groups anymore that if you're making a certain amount of income, all right, that group of people should be making more than you. Always more, because if you're the smartest one in the group, you're the leader. You don't want to be the leader. You're trying to elevate. So get into rooms, go to places like Eventbrite. There are some online network marketing places. I'm not saying network marketing, but I'm saying some networking groups on Facebook that have events. Some free, some not, but Eventbrite is free. Check out some of the events if it's in your area and go. Don't just schedule it and like, oh, I'm not going now. It's raining outside. Go, take your ass out the house. You got so comfortable with being inside the house. It's time to be out. Mingle, be around other people. Even if you are an introvert, it is not healthy to stay in the house all the time. I love being in the house. Little do y'all know, y'all think that I'm out all the time. Me, I'm in the house most of the time. But I go to my office at least 3 times out of the week so I can at least be around other people. At least 3 times out of the week, okay? So even if you are an introvert, don't get into that habit, because that battle will start happening more in your mind if you're left alone. And then it festers. And if you don't know how to control the 5-point process of what I'm sharing with you, if you don't know how to do that part, it's going to get worse before it gets better. So the thing that you were thinking about, oh man, he didn't choose me. Oh gosh, then that's going to fester. Let me look at his Facebook page. Oh my gosh, he's with a new person. Fester. Let me look at his Instagram page. Oh my gosh, let me DM him. Let me tell him how much he pissed me off. You got to understand that could have been avoided. That could have been avoided. All right. So desire more, just be around other people that are progressing. That was why network marketing was super important for me, because the people were progressing. I say in chapter 2 of the book, it saved my life. It saved my life, because had I been left alone with my thoughts, who knows? Who knows? We don't want to think about that, because I wouldn't be here today helping a lot of my friends now. So number 4 is desire more. Just think, just sit there and just like, dang, I could be in that $2.5 million house. I don't need 1 car. I could get 3 if I wanted to. 4 streams of income. Let's talk about 7. No, I see 7 streams of income. Like, desire more than just sitting around. That's not helping your mind at all. And the last thing is personal development. That's the thing, of course, that's what I shared with you, that I wanted to let you know that was the saving grace for me. That's not going to be the saving grace 100% for everyone, but I'm letting you know I didn't have to get a pill. I didn't have to get into a hospital, thank goodness, because it was controlled at a point where personal development, pieces of it, every single 15 to 30 minutes a day is enough for me, and it could be for you, to at least get that process going where, you know what, I don't need to look at his page. Let me just block his page. That way I won't be tempted to look anymore. You got it? For those that have those ex-boyfriends or girlfriends, get off and just block. Block him. I was talking to one girl and I'm just like, you know what? I'm tired of talking about it. Man, I keep calling him. Why are you calling him? He told you he doesn't want to be in a relationship. Why are you calling him? I know, but he keeps picking up the phone and answering my texts. You're not in control right now. And when a man sees that you're not in control, that's not going to end very good. So either 1, he's going to take advantage of that, or 2, he's not going to respect you and it's going to get worse. So either way, it ain't good. So get it controlled. And with that, I shared with her, I said, because you keep getting tempted to look on his page and seeing what he's doing, you win. You win by blocking him. No, I lose. I said, no, you won by blocking him. And to this day, I don't know if she's blocked him or not. I doubt it. But it gets a woman to that point where could this go next? And when you start looking at a woman or a man and you put them in that he or she is crazy category, be very careful. Be very careful with those words, because when you say that, we all have some kind of mental stuff going on. We all do. But what level is that person? They could be suffering with schizophrenia, bipolar, depression, okay? And then you just call them crazy. And the next person over here, he's crazy. Okay, so all that is mounting up. So watch your words. That's all I'm saying. Don't call people crazy if you don't know their story. Because I could have been called crazy. So just be very simple. Yeah, that person could have a mental breakdown. You're like, dang, they were just fine at work. What happened? You don't know what they're battling within their brain. So if it's a mental condition, yes, make sure that you walk them through, get help. Here's better help. Let's do it together. Let's look it up together. Let's see how we can get you registered and do it. That could be a saving grace for that person. But you can only do what you can do, right? But if you recognize these signs where, like I was, check in with your friends and just ask those simple questions. Hey, your tough friends need it most. Your entrepreneur friends need it most, because they work in isolation most. Okay. So again, with those, check on them and just make sure, I don't need anything. I was just checking on you. How are you doing? And don't just be okay with I'm good. Y'all know how the women do. I'm good. If you ask a woman 3 times the same question, she'll give you a different answer on the 3rd one. I promise you. That goes for the men out there. If you ask a woman, how are you doing, babe? I'm good. That's 1. No, really. How are you doing? I mean, I'm okay. I'm chill. It's two. I'm gonna ask you one more time, babe. How are you doing? I mean, it's nothing but the people at my job is just bothering me and I'm just tired. There it is. So I guarantee you ask people, be patient, give them a little bit of grace because they may not know how to communicate that with you. And then you just want to say, I'm here for you. Call me whenever you need to, but I'm gonna call you tomorrow. I'm gonna ask you the same question tomorrow, and I'm gonna ask you every day until. Sometimes God puts you in a place of just making sure you save them. You could save somebody's life and you don't even know it. But just be aware that that person might need just somebody to talk to. And that's why these points are very important. Number one, audit your circle. Get the crappy people out of there, the people that just need stuff and don't deposit. Are they just withdrawing from you? If they're just withdrawing, it's time for you to withdraw them out your life. Okay. Number two, guard your eyes. What are you seeing? Guard your ears. What are you listening to on the radio, podcasting, TV? And then guard your environment. Who is around you? You have people cursing all the time. You have people drinking all the time. Are they doing drugs over here just once in a while? Guard your environment. Are they always talking about how much money they don't have? Guard your environment. Guard your environment because that's being deposited into you. That's it. Oh my gosh. Yeah. The well check goes far. You've got to check in on people, even when you think they got their shit all together. All right. I need to be checked on sometime. You guys can check in on me. That's fine. So let's do this. The third one is speak to a therapist. If you don't have someone in your insurance network, then maybe go to betterhelp.com and see what they can provide for you. They've got thousands of people that you can connect with. All right, so get that. And number 4 is desire more. God gave you the ability to have an abundance and you keep asking for, I just want the rent paid. I just want my car payment taken care of. Desire more. I thank you, God, for the house that you're gifting me. Thank you for the home that's paid in full. Thank you, God, for my health that is restored. Like, let's not ask for these small little deposits of things. No more monthly payments. Thank you for the house that is already paid for in full. You got it? Desire more. And now you're elevating your brain. So it's not just chilling out and quiet. Okay. It's thinking bigger and keep yourself involved in personal development. So this is what I wanted to share. Keisha, I wanted to share that. And Lanice, you guys are both on the line. Good. So I can kind of have this conversation at the same time. In this world that we're living in, a lot of people are needing that approval. And social media has kind of made it worse. So people need that approval. Oh, how many people like my stuff? Or how many, do you like what I have on? That is an approval addiction that many of us go through. So you have to be okay with, I'm wearing this and this is what I'm wearing. Or I'm wearing my hair like this. This is how it's going to be. I'm not needing your approval for that. And for those that have children, make sure that they understand that. Let's not focus on what they can do. My God told me I look fine. Your God told you you look fine. So let's not worry about those outside people that are telling you, oh, well, you need to color your hair. Or you need to why don't you cover up that gray? Or why don't you move to this side of town? Well, that's not your concern. Don't focus on that data when stuff's going to happen. Just know it's going to happen very soon. And once you live in expectation and know that house is mine, that house is mine. I said May 2023 that house is mine. It's coming real soon. You have now a separate kind of adrenaline rush that your mind is saying, we got something to look forward to, girl. We got something to look forward to. And that, again, is helping you elevate your mind so that you're not having this battle within your brain. All right. So those are the things that the personal development is going to be the thing. There's always going to be that season in your life where you got your good moments, bad moments. It's always going to be there. I don't care how pretty you are. I don't care how handsome you are. You're always going to have those turbulent moments. Okay. And that's part of life. All right. It's going to happen. You got to weather those storms. Weeping may endure a night, but joy comes in the morning. Is that the quote? I'm fine with that. When I'm having a bad day, remember Estrelita, when the computer crashed, I knew weeping is going to endure just for today. I knew it when my computer crashed. I knew it.
Yep.
I had to stay in that posture of this shit's not gonna last. But some of you stay in that posture when, oh my gosh, what am I gonna do? Oh my gosh. That anxiety is not healthy to stay in. So I hope that you could learn it's an adjustment. I knew when that computer crashed how much data was on there, but you know what I said? F it. There's nothing I can do about it at this point. It's a lesson being learned. Tomorrow when I wake up, whole different day. And that happens for you too. Like it's not going to keep happening day after day after day. God's got to see, do you trust me? Because I'm doing something, I'm orchestrating something right now in your life. I just need you to hang in there. And it's a test to see if you keep staying in depression or you keep, this ain't good. Oh, I'll never find anybody. If you stay there, tomorrow's going to look the same way. So yes, it's work. It is work to sit there and just grin and bear it, but you've got to be able to say, God got me. God got me. Whatever you're doing, God, thank you. It's rough right now, but thank you for whatever you're doing to make tomorrow happen. Because I know today's got to happen. And you stay in that posture, I guarantee you that next day you're going to wake up, sun's going to be shining, and you will be able to get through it, but it's a mental shift. You control the narrative on, am I going to stay in a pissy ass mood, or am I going to, all right, God, you got this. It's a battle. It's a battle that we all have to go through. So I ask you, what's going to be that saving grace for you? And I want to show you, Keisha, I wanted to show you and some others that may be introducing themselves to personal development for the first time. I doubt if it's your first time, but I want to introduce to you the work from home opportunity that I have. Has professional development in there for only $30. You have trainings that are in there and you can just push play to watch personal development. And I love that for $30 one time, you get access to these trainings. And I'll show you in a second, but I just wanted to share it with you. That Keisha, Nurse Keisha, when you start taking a look at some of these work from home opportunities, there are some people that are on this thread that are part of my coaching program. And what they do is they use the content that I write, that I give you, and you're able to put those words, that content on your page so that you can start to influence and encourage other people. So it could be an engaging, like Lanice is a nurse. So a lot of her posts are geared towards nurses and caretakers. So she's talking because she is one. And so she's given some pointers on what it takes to be a nurse. And here's some tips that you can avoid and things like that. But the content from the post that I'm giving you is what makes people engage with her page. All right. So if you need that type of content and you marry it with the personal and professional development tools and the marketing tools, and that's how you have a successful online business. How are people making money online? Because they're helping someone with a problem. Lanice, for example, is helping someone with a problem. The posts are talking and engaging with the people to help them with a problem. She's putting her own posts and videos out there online. Her call to action is, if you need to get more information, then this is what you do next. And she's getting people to take a look at that work from home opportunity. So you can do the same thing. You're posting. If you want to work from home, if that's going to help you mentally get through, we already talked about how healthcare workers are probably the #1 industry is suffering through depression. Well, what can you do? Work from home and do something that you like. So that's what I do, Keisha, as far as I help with that. So if you want to, I think we're talking on Thursday, so we can talk a little bit more about how that can help you as well. But let me show you the content here. If you all need to get some of my content to start taking a look at that to help your page start warming up and start encouraging other people, I give it away. I give 7 days of it for free. So my Linktree account is here. Let me drop that in here. My Linktree account is here. So you can come browse around. Does anybody have any questions while I get this together? As I shared everything, I laid it all out on the table. I did everything but tell y'all about the man in my life. And I'm not going to share. Keep some things to myself. Here is the work from home opportunity. You see that button right there? So Keisha, you following along?
You don't see anything.
Oh, because I need to share my screen.
That'll be great. Thank you.
It's no problem. No thanks. Small joys. I got you. All right. So I clicked on the button where it said work from home opportunity under my Linktree link. All right. So here's the page. You get to this. Under here, you want to put your name, email address, and phone number in here. Guys, we're going into, and I'm just switching gears here. We're going into a new mode where you have unemployment that's starting to rise again, like we're back in 2020. We're having people lose their jobs at high rates. So what do you think that's going to be doing to their mental state and financial state? All right, it's going to shift some things. So I'm being proactive to make sure you've got some things in front of you that you can do online. So as little as $30, that's where it starts. It goes up to $2,500, but that's not where you need to focus. Grant me access, hit that button. And I want to show you what's inside of that. $30 will get you 49 different trainings. Here are the personal development training topics. I talked everything about why this is so important today. And these are the topics here. Beat information overload, self-confidence transformation, born to succeed, peaceful chaos. Here's some of the video topics that you just need to just push play. And if someone in your life needs this information, invest the $30 one time just to get it for them. Just to allow them, this is a gift. I want to make sure that your health is most important, your mental health. And I think if you were to listen to this at least once a day, you'll start to feel better. And so you've got all of these 49 trainings that are in here. So if you need any of these, communicate with Lanice or myself in order to get this done for yourself. There are packages that are more, but just think about the more that you purchase, the more money that you can actually get paid when these services are sold. So $110 means that if somebody needed this to have custom social media packs, then that helps them if they were to offer that, because remember, the content that we're writing on the page allows people to get introduced to these trainings, and the information itself is $110 one time. So if someone came and said, I'm interested in working from home, how do I do that for myself? Well, here's the information that you can get. And if it's $110, and that simply means the commission for you is $100. You just made $100 for helping someone get connected to something that they need for their personal or their professional self. All right. I was talking to a young gentleman 2 weeks ago. He needed a logo for his business. This is a business suite, not only of professional tools of marketing, but you've got professional and personal development tools in here. So if you have everything in here that an online person can make money with, all you're doing is saying, well, if you need a logo, it's going to be not $275, but I think that's in the $550 package right here. You get a custom logo made. because he's one of my business clients, he just went through this E1U Life platform, got this done. My commission was $500 just for setting him up for an online platform that I already have. The company is doing all the work for the logo, not me. So if that's something where you want to get information on, how do I start an online business? Because I don't know how my job is going to be, or I just need more because eggs and blueberries and milk is going up and there's no stopping it. We got to stay in front of inflation. So this has been great that you can utilize this. I have the content. I think most of you are worried about, how do I get people to my page? How do I get people to look at what I have? Well, I'm giving you 90 days of content for free. And the content is, Lanice, what do you think about the content? I mean, she can tell you better.
I think it's pretty good. Very simple to follow, right? Because it's very simple to follow. If I can do it, trust me.
Right, but even with that, you got some engagement on your page because you have.
Yeah, so prior to me starting with the information that Lorie provided, I was all over the place with my page. I was a hot mess. However, I can now look back. I've been doing it for 30 days now. So that's amazing. And just being able to share, and really it has helped in my confidence in what I'm doing. But it has also helped me to really begin to think about what I'm sharing, who I'm sharing it with, and knowing how I can really help others with that information.
Right.
So it's causing me to not just think about what I'm seeing at that moment, but to think even further out, kind of like what Lorie is saying. But I wouldn't have been able to do that without that information that she definitely provided. So thank you for that.
You're welcome. Yeah. And I know I'm a writer. Many of you may not be writers by trade, but if that's something that I can do to give you that, so that that's not a hurdle for you, I don't want you missing out on opportunity. I don't want you missing out on money because I'm like, I don't know what to say online. I got you. But if you start writing the messages and gearing it towards a specific audience, like Keisha and Lanice are both caretakers. They don't want to be working in the hospitals forever. So a lot of their content that they write online is speaking to nurses and caretakers who want to make money from home or want to work online and make money that way instead of being in the hospitals, right? So what we did was we used the content that I have, and a lot of that is gearing them. The call to action is, well, what are they buying, Lorie? Well, it's the ability for them to buy one of these programs, anywhere from $30, and it goes all the way up to $2,500. All of them have personal development in there. They have trainings. They have professional trainings in there as well. So it's not like you're just getting nothing. So for a business owner, for an entrepreneur, someone who needs, an entrepreneur needs to stay on top of this, then you have everything in here. And if you sell that service, then you get a commission from that. That's the direction of where it's going. It's not going to happen in just 30 days, but for those that want to get started, connect with Lanice or Lanice Sudds or myself so that we can get you more information on this and how to market it to your advantage. Okay. So again, all of this started with depression. And the end goal is to make sure you're mentally feeling okay so you can financially make what you need. You can't make the money if you're not feeling great. Yes, there's no way. So I found a way that you can do an online business. And if this is a helpful solution for some of you, hit us up and we can make sure that that is a solution for you. Okay. All right. All right. So let's end this. Does anyone have any questions about what we talked about? And one takeaway that you can at least share with me that you're going to at least go out and start doing for yourself. Keisha, Nurse Keisha. The dog wants to go outside so bad. You guys are all set?
So one takeaway that I have, I will be re-engaging in will be my walks.
Your
It's
walk?
very
Okay.
important. Walks. For 30 minutes, definitely picking back up on my walks.
Yeah. And it's not just for physical. It's not just for physical, it sounds like.
No, never just for physical. It's a great way to it's a two birds with one stone. So I get to listen to my personal growth and development,
Same here.
but I also it helps to clear my mind, just to be out in the fresh air. So I definitely recommend it. Even if it's 15, whatever time you can put in, get it. If it can't be 30, do 5.
Do it. Do something.
Yeah.
That dog of mine saved me.
Yeah. And one of my friends told me before that if more people would walk, he would be out of business. He's a therapist.
That's very true. I look forward to doing those walks because I have a dog and I don't just let her go in the backyard. I don't have a fence. So that's my joy, is to actually get up and get out in the morning, just not just for her, but I'm like, this walk is for me more than you know. So Lanice, you're so right about that as far as getting out, take a walk, even for 15 minutes to clear your mind, put some headphones on, or just talk to God and just see what's next. Just get out of the house, because many of you work from home and you need to get away from the computer. So you got to get out, that's healthy. So that's good. Anyone else?
Yes, me.
What's up, Ari?
So what I need to start doing again is my journaling, and I also need to start doing my Lorie's positive affirmations daily that you told me to do a long time ago. I was doing them daily, and then I kind of drifted away from it, so I need to do that again. Mm-hmm. And then also, like I said, I've been working on making my circle a little bit smaller. So that's what I'm working on.
It's a process. Some people are ripped out of your life faster than others, and you can't be mad at that. You have to just be thankful that that person is gone, because God was like, you're going to do this for 20 more years if you left by yourself. Sometimes God removes people because it's time for you to elevate, and you still ain't doing the job. So don't get mad when people leave. And that's another shift. People will get upset and like, oh my gosh, they fired me. Or, I've been friends with this person for 20 years and they stabbed me in the back all of a sudden. It was supposed to happen just like that. And good thing. Just be like, thank you. Whatever is next, God, is supposed to happen. Just be happy, relationships, job, good. I don't get worried about, oh, you lost your job. Good. Now this is good for you, so that you can start focusing on what you were supposed to be doing for the last 12 years. You said you were looking to open up that catering truck. Now you've got time and the dedication to do it. The job is not holding you back no more. Now what? Now what's your excuse? Okay. So yeah, cut the fat. All right. So thank you for sharing, everybody. Does anybody else have anything before we go?
I wanted to share.
Who's this? Tashima.
Yes. Oh, you said it right. Hey. Thank you.
Read it. Yeah, Tashima.
I just wanted to say that this was definitely confirmation for me. I got an email randomly forwarded to me like, hey, you should come to this webinar. I said, okay, let me go ahead and try it out. Let me see what's going on. Let me take a listen to it. And a lot of the steps that you've spoken on, I have already, did or try to do or in the process of doing, but I need to get back in therapy. I'm always like in and out, like, okay, I think I'm cured. Oh, nope. Something, right. Something's still bothering me, but there's too many outlets out there for me to, take use of, and I'm not using it, but I need to really get back in there. So that's what I'm going to work on.
I love it. And it's like when you go to the gym, you feel good that you worked on everything for that hour or 45 minutes that you were there, but you still got to do work when you get home. You still got to eat good. You still got to drink water. You still got to work out when you get home. So it's not like I went to therapy today and I don't have to do anything until next Wednesday. Like, it's not like that. You still have to still do the work when you leave that appointment. And that's the mental work that is really tested when you're not in front of someone. When you're not in front of someone and they're sharing tips on 5 tips on what to do, and your therapist is guiding you through a method of what to do to feel better. If you can go home and you can practice those things, that's the process. It may take years, but that's the process. You know, you're good when you can do this without being in front of someone else. I'm not going to say we're ever healed. Like, will depression ever come back? Yeah, it comes back. But I tell myself I got 10 seconds to get up out of this shit. I can't stay here. You're here for a reason, but I know depression will always be there for all people. But you have to know, how am I going to get out of this? All right, God, it's only temporary. Let's get through this. And it's typically around money. Like, my depression typically now is around money. Like, I'm not where I want to be with money. But with people, I let people go, no problem now. So I've gotten better with that part, where it's just like, you got to go with a smile. So you'll get better, and you're getting better. So I love that. It's a process. It's right. Give yourself grace, because the person you are today, you are who you are. And it took you 30, 40, 50 years to get where you are, right? So don't think that it's going to happen overnight for an emotional, mental upgrade. Like, give yourself some grace, but just practice it. Okay. So do the therapy. Let me know. We're going to praise you when you get your therapy session going.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And thank you for joining in. So hopefully you can join the community as well. Make sure that you stay tuned to my Linktree page. I've got a lot of stuff on there. If you need to get your book written, if you need to book a consulting with me on how to get your real book together, how to get your book out, then book a consultant time with me. There's some other things on there, Tashina, if you wanted to join our Facebook community. Make sure that you are clicking on the Linktree link so that you can get closer to our community and be upfront and get everything on purpose now. Now you're in the family now. So I'll leave this link, and I think we're good to go. I'll go walk my dog. Go walk my dog. All right, so copy that link, you guys, before we get going. I want to thank you guys for our Instagram for joining in. Certainly make sure that you take a look at YouTube. There are a lot of different replays on there, just in case you missed some things, but a lot of my videos are on YouTube. So that if you need to get more information about real estate, business, marketing, I'm your girl to get all that information. If you need to get help on social media and how to write content for your social media pages, I'm your girl. I'd love to help you get your pages and help you market a little bit more so that you can work online. Making money online is very easy, but you got to have the right tips and conversations to make that happen. So let's schedule 15 minutes, and I'll see you guys next Tuesday for the class. All right. Have a good one. You're welcome.